Howdy, y'all. It's Cody from the Keepers of Nerddom. It looks like we have a Tau preview, and this weekend is the Codex dropping. As far as the previews of it, it won't go, I think, live for a week or two. But we're starting to get the info. I'm both excited and nervous from what I've heard. It's kind of a mess, and yeah, I'll just give you my thoughts as we go through this. So, fly close and unleash hell with a Tau Empire detachment full of battle suits. That sounds amazing. Well, here's where we get into some crazy sauce. The Tau Empire's battlesuit technology is at the forefront. Okay. Which ones will you use? A new detachment in Codex Tau Empire gives your battlesuits even more ways to leap into action. Okay. Cool battlesuit there. Honestly, I kind of like the look of mine more at this point, but that's just me. But don't most people, once they paint their own stuff, go, you know what? I kind of like mine better. Anyway, if you're a fan of filling the battlefield with high-tech combat walkers, which who isn't? Let's be real. This is cool. Like certain Red Renegade. Haha, okay, Farsight. The retaliation cadre is just what the Ethereals ordered, which is funny because it's like, why is this a clickable thing? That's hilarious. Oh, it would take you to the Tau Empire shop on their website. Its attachment rule exemplifies the daring of these bonded heroes, delivering a high-stakes, close-range playstyle where battlesuits descend upon enemy units and blast them to pieces. Have you ever wished your burst cannons could hit strength 6 or even AP -1 to really mow down infantry? Consider those wishes answered, as battlesuit guns get extra strength and armor penetration depending on how close your pilots dare to advance. So the detachment rule for bonded is called Bonded Heroes. Each time a Tau Empire battlesuit model from your army makes a ranged attack that targets a unit within 12 inches, improve the strength of that attack by 1. The attack targets a unit within 6, though, improve the AP of that attack by 1 as well. That's pretty cool. The Tau Empire isn't reckless or wasteful, though. They make use of canny stratagems to keep their battlesuits out of harm's way. So we're really getting this concept of this one specific play style. This is interesting, right? The shortened blade allows close-range suits to stay safely in orbit before dropping down at near point-blank range. Perfect for eliminating enemy tanks with a fusion blaster fusillade. Then employ the Torch Star Gamut to jet away to safety once their shooting has resolved. So shortened blade in your movement saves, one Tau Empire battlesuit unit from your army that's arriving using the deep strike ability this phase. Your unit can be set up anywhere on the battlefield that's more than 3 inches horizontally away from all enemy models. I've seen somebody already on a Necron's page going, they're just stealing all of our abilities, which is funny because there is some similarities here, granted. And the unit can't charge after using that. And it's 2 CPs, so pretty expensive, but powerful. For sure. 1 CP for the Torch Star Gambit in your shooting phase. At least they have to have fly for their battlesuit. Attacks have been resolved this phase. If your unit is not within engagement range of 1 or more enemy units, it can make a normal move. If it does, your unit cannot declare charge this turn. Okay, cool. Very good. So they get that again, and it's 1 CP instead of 2 for this version of play. All right, so then they're like, let's talk about Crisis Battlesuits. One of the coolest things about the current edition of Warhammer 40k is that every unit gets its own special ability. That's where things sound good until you start reading further. While this is great for most, it hits a snag when massively flexible models need an ability that suits every possible loadout. After all, a bonus that's ideal for close-range flamers might not be nearly as effective for long-range missile pods. So just put a special ability that says, all right, if you're using missile pods, you get this. If you're using this, get that. It's not that hard. Just they were already complicated, so just keep them going. It's so silly. This is where we are now in Warhammer. It really is. Imperial strategists address this issue by spreading flexible tanks like the Lemurus or Gladiator across different datasheets in the Tower Nothing if not quick learners. The Codex Tau Empire splits Crisis battlesuits into 3 distinct datasheets based around classic configurations, and veteran Tau commanders might recognize a few names from Lore of Yore. Classic configurations. Let's go down here. What's it say? This also allows their point cost to be more accurately affect their equipment rather than the priciest possible loadout. That's right, except for the fact that we didn't have this problem whenever your weapons cost points to put on. That's what's stupid about this, okay? Just throwing that out there. So, anyway. It just makes me mad. So we have Fire Knife, Sunforge, and Star Scythe. You do need to keep in mind that just because they only have 1 weapon on the picture, my understanding of the readings of this stuff is these are just old images that they are using from editions past. So just keep in mind they may be able to have more weapons than this. Just keep that in mind. That's all. Yeah, it's just a stupid thing to notice, though, that this is what's going on here. Anyway, so we have 3 different. So they're going to talk about the Sunforge. Well, let's talk about 3. Sunforge configuration melts down heavy targets with twin fusion blasters. That's really cool. Fire Knife battlesuits mix and match plasma rifles and missile pods to crack elite troops. So Fire Knife has more than just that 1 weapon on it. Okay. And maybe that weapon that was up there, I think that might be supposed to be yeah, it is a missile pod. Okay, so there's 2 there. But on this one, there's only 1, looks like. So, and Star Slice teams choose from a buffet of burst cannons, so plural, and flamers to wipe out massed hordes. So again, not just one weapon; they're just using old versions of the models. Frustrating. They're all still Crisis battlesuits, but now they get custom abilities that really help out their chosen roles. Take the Crisis Sunforge battlesuits, for instance. Their Sunforge ability helps to mitigate the low rate of fire on their fusion blasters by giving powerful rerolls against their ideal targets. So the Sunforge down here, it says, well, we'll come back up. Each time a ranged attack made by a model in this unit is allocated to a monster or vehicle unit, you can reroll the wound roll and you can reroll the damage roll. That's amazing. That does make the fusion blasters insanely powerful. Like they're gonna hit stuff nasty. And then it says, with the retaliation cadre detachment rule in play, you're firing strength 10 shots at AP -5, dealing D6 plus 2 damage with a reroll on both wound rolls and the damage roll itself. So if you roll a 1 on that D6, you can reroll and get something hopefully better. These new distinctions have another benefit for battle suit aficionados. New army can contain the same data sheet more than 3 times, and their little asterisks here are, except for battle line, obviously, because you can have more. But each of these configurations is a different data sheet. That is cool. But we're going to be limited on what we can take. That means you can squeeze up to 9 crisis teams into your roster, because they don't actually say how many are in a crisis team now. That's important to note here. Ready to retaliate as principally as the greater good demands. Don't worry if your own crisis suits have different armaments. The current data sheet will be added to Legends, so you can keep using a more diverse hardpoint combination if you wish. So we'll be able to still use the Cyclic Ion Blasters, whatever else we want, as a Legends data sheet, which is good, so it's still technically there. It's just not going to have some of these other special abilities that are going to be seen on this stuff, and it won't be updated on the point values anywhere near as often. So if we stay with the same point values, they should be fine. And that's good, but yet you can't take those to tournaments. But if you're just playing home games, who cares? Because I've been trying to magnetize most of my things, but I have a few of my Crisis battlesuits that I have just glued on. 2, I think. Yeah, 2. Which is fine. It's not a big deal because I just wanted them to be done and finished and to be able to look at them as kind of, all right, these are here. I won't lose pieces. They're going to just be done. And if they have to just stay like that, that's okay. I don't actually mind it because I kind of like the looks of them anyway. They're fun. So anyway, all right. Commanders can join all 3 of these new units. That's still good, and retain their own flexible weapons options, so they can still just mix and match however they want. They just say, yeah, we don't care. So you can outfit them according to their chosen bodyguard. Their own abilities focus on supporting the entire unit, with the Enforcer Commander lowering the armor penetration of incoming fire. That's kind of crazy. While the Cold Star Commander turbo boosts its allies so they can keep up with its incredible speed, which we already know the Cold Star Commander is amazing. So gives a move characteristic of 12, and ranged weapons equipped by the models in that unit have the assault ability. Very good. So they can so they can advance. Did they change that or not? I thought their advance was, I think it's on their actual data sheet themselves, so that's fine. Hopefully it's still the same. We'll see. So they may not auto advance 6 inches now, unless you're in the Legends version. And then the Enforcer Commander, each time a ranged attack targets that unit when he's leading that unit, worse the AP by 1. More Tau Empire rules are on their way, as the awesome Crew Hunting Pack, which is your first chance to get your hands on Codex Tau Empire, goes up for pre-order this Saturday. Okay, so just a few thoughts here. This new detachment concept sounds really cool, just to get up close and personal and just absolutely do crazy stuff here, right, with the bonded heroes. That is really cool. Thing is, if they have an invuln save, then it doesn't matter. This sounds cool until it's not. But it does give you the potential to use very different weapons, like even the most basic blaster things that are terrible, but yet if you could get them up to AP1, all of a sudden they might actually be enough shots that they could actually do some work. That'd be pretty cool. So just an interesting thought process going on there. I just don't know how I feel about this separation. It could be really good, but if no Cyclic Ion Blasters are even present on any of these concepts, that's going to be really frustrating. It doesn't seem like that's the case. Because even if you have them magnetized and you can take them off, which, okay, cool. You have Cyclic Ion Blasters that you bought from third party because Games Workshop was terrible about ever putting them in, but saying, oh, no, you can have tons of them over here. It's so stupid. Like, it's their fault, right? It really is their fault. And then now all of a sudden we have to go, okay, now, which I don't mind in a way, fusion blasters or plasma, I really like. Like, those will both be interesting. But at the same time, I'm kind of frustrated because for 3 of my Cyclic Ion Blasters, before I had 3D printed any from people and got them from them, I had cannibalized some weaponry to make those a reality on these guys. So cyclic ion blasters may be my leader's thing, and then a Legends data sheet that I use. I don't know. It's just weird. It's just weird. We're losing our customization in part, and that's really frustrating when that happens. So, because keep in mind, these are going to be 3 different data sheets with different abilities, and so they may not have the auto advance 6 inches because of their flight ability special that they have. These may be very different in what they do. And we're also losing, from what I understand from another video that I watched today, we're losing our options on a few things in the codex. We're losing some data sheets. I haven't even gotten to try my Tau yet, and I have on Shi, the guy hovering on a little chair like the Prophets of Regret and Truth and all them from Halo, with his 2 bodyguards, and I want to play him. I mean, they'll technically still be Legends, which is still usable, but it's just frustrating that they're doing that, and I especially feel bad for you all that play the actual tournament scene, because this is just sad. Why not? I think what really frustrates me is they're updating their recruit and doing all these changes, and why not just update your stuff? Why not update the crisis suits and give us these other options? Give us the customized, but also give us, here's the more focused things that probably are better in what they do for specific things, which would be actually really cool. Because then you're like, yeah, you could go Cyclic Ion Blaster, and we can change the costs on those, but you could have the more specific options that have better abilities for these specific weapons. Options. Fun. Everything about the crisis suits is customization out the wazoo, which made them fun. And we just keep losing the customization. The game is getting more and more simple, but not in a good way. And now I understand why my brother was saying how frustrated he was with Grey Knights losing their weaponry, and now it's all just force weapons or whatever they're labeled as. It's frustrating. There's a good thing in that you could have a hammer or the sword or whatever you like on there, and it does the same thing. That's cool, because then you can customize how you want, but who knows what it's going to change to next time. If you don't magnetize, you might be up a creek, right? These are just those frustrations. So what do you think about this preview for Tau? I think I'm both excited and upset at the same time, because my customization is going away, but also I am getting some really cool stuff here. And that's the hard part about Warhammer 40k, is when you get something really cool, you often are losing something else that's really cool as well. And so you're always playing that game of what do you lose versus what do you gain, and which one are you more excited about and on the other side upset about. It's tough. I'm glad that the game is ever changing in a way. At the same time, it's like it would be okay to be limited in scope at times. Anyway, that's what I got. Like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for hanging out with us. We're on the journey slowly but surely towards 700 subscribers, and we'll just keep growing and moving towards 1,000 someday. Hopefully by the end of the year, we'll see it, and it'll be kind of exciting just to get that going. I've been Cody from the Keepers of Nerdom. Like, share, and subscribe. Thank you all for joining me. Bye, y'all.